Welcome to yet another edition of a documentary piece, From Kanilai to Exile. Today, we explore the life and time of former President Yahya Jammeh, a leader whose reign and leadership was marked with both fervent support and fierce opposition. Yahya Jammeh was born in Kanilai, The Gambia, in 1965. Growing up in rural village, he faced the challenge of limited resources and opportunities, but Jammeh's determination propelled him forward and excellence.
Yahya Jammeh, to many he has a good side, but also to many he has a bad side. The history rather is on both sides of the coin. So it depends on the analytical perspective of individuals. Hence, he was a political figure, renowned individual, and then above all, a national president. So people have diverging opinions, diverging views, diverging perception, feelings, impressions, and etc. about him. It's fine to bring him on the spotlight. We get through his historical life processes. Perhaps we may repeat to say from rag to riches, or from Kanilai to the State House. Anyway, it's a great thing to discuss.
He was enlisted in the Gambian military, where his ambition began to take shape. His military career would soon set stage for his rise to power.
Jammeh coming from Kanilai, and of course that doesn't deter him coming to the Combos St. Mary, because I understand he had his school and most lifetime in Banjul, and that is the country's capital. So that man must not have to be seen as someone who was not aware of the happenings, the political, social, and economic matters of the Gambia at the time. He could have got this inspiration from day one, that he want to be something great. So from his graduation, Gambia High, he joined the army. Historically, the perception of every individual is that Yahya Jammeh has always been that courageous man, that courageous individual, that courageous person who would say, do anything he wants or likes. He was going through the ladder.
In July 1994, Jammeh staged a coup, overthrowing democratically elected President Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara. At just 29 years old, he became the youngest head of state in Africa.
We understand he attended several trainings. According to history, even in Senegal, he attended a training there, okay, among others in the US and some other parts of the country. To many also, he was close to the former president. Perhaps he was a bodyguard at the time, okay. And to many, they will tell you, people who were close to him during his time as a soldier will tell you Yahya was that stubborn soldier. The eventuality came when they staked up the coup in 1994. He became the president in the end. He became the chair. Okay? So to track you back, I believe from day one, to my perception, Yahya was that courageous person, perhaps that this stubborn person they describe him, but also he has the intellectual intelligence. So, the coup d'etat happens.
Initially, Jammeh was celebrated as a liberator, but soon revealed a more complex reality.
When he came, everybody saw him as the savior of the country, because there is this belief that even when they claimed to step down after 6 months, prominent people in the Gambia advised him to stay. They said, Yahya, stay, because he came to many as a revolutionary. So, all the people believed was he has came to bring about the missing independence, the missing sovereignty, the missing territorial integrity of the Gambia that we have lost to the hands of our colonial masters, or perhaps somebody afar. Therefore, he got the support, he got the backing, in the perception that he is going to lead us to the promised land.
Jammeh's early years in power saw a mix of economic policies and controversial decisions. He introduced various initiatives aimed at improving the lives of Gambians.
At the initial position of his leadership, he did wonders. Everybody must confess to that. He brought us on national TV, built us roads, built us schools, universities, colleges, built us hospitals, improved infrastructure, improved transportation. He did a lot. He did a lot at that time. He made the Gambia a safe zone at the time. And remember, he focused on two big sectors, and that until today saved the life of Gambians. That's his concentration on education and his concentration on health. He built major hospitals everywhere. He built schools everywhere. In fact, they came with the policy of visit every 3 kilometers a school.
His leadership style oscillated between populism and repression, creating a polarized environment.
Some are victims of the former President Yahya Jammeh, who was alleged to have been involved in some human rights violations, and some of his victims, alleged victims, are pasted here with their pictures. Having gone through them and reading them, actually terrifies and it's so sad to have gone through. And this is the sculpture of the former President, His Excellency Yahya Jammeh.
As his grip on power tightened, Jammeh faced a growing allegation of human rights abuses, reports of torture, extrajudicial killings, and repressions of dissent began to emerge. And this monument is now used as a form of an archive where historical facts and evidences are kept, particularly footages and pictures of people who are believed to have suffered some human rights violations under the reign of Yahya Jammeh.
With all these big things he has done, he wasn't mindful of what was happening, what he was doing, and what his close associates were doing. There were corruptions. We cannot avoid it. It's inevitable. It was not rampant because there was fear. There was sabotage. We cannot extinct it from what has happened. But we should also understand that the sabotage was not much because there was a fear. But now, along the doings, along the positivity, along the infrastructural development, it was interwoven, intertwined with some unknown, mysterious happenings. And this, as he was dragging, it was following. It was like a jingle bell. Things he has done, things his close associate has done, haunted him. The killings, the disappearance without traces, the suppression of activists, suppression of the media, suppression of political parties and politicians, even suppression of the ordinary man in the street. People lost their parents, lost their husbands, lost their wives, lost their brothers and sisters, and so on and so forth. This is what brought him down.
International bodies condemned his reign, but yet he remained defiant, often blaming foreign interferences. Jammeh was a polarizing figure. While some praise his effort to improve infrastructure, others view him as a tyrant.
A liberator come a dictator.
Say it again.
A liberator come a dictator.
Citizens were caught in a dichotomy of loyalty and fear.
2016 we know. Results were announced. He publicly declared accepting the results, and as one of the most democratic elections ever to happen, he made this statement clear, and people applauded him for that. He was made a hero, and he did announce that he was going to Kanilai to continue his farming. However, he advised the incumbent, Adam Barrow, the new government, he told him, yes, I will go to Kanilai, but for the safety and security of this country, I will never compromise it. That was laudable. But a few days later, he annulled that declaration. He wrote a petition and he demanded for re-election. And of course, he even went to dissolve the parliament. Some ministers resigned, perhaps others he fired them. It happens. So at this juncture, the whole world went against him. The whole world went against Jammeh. So the international bodies, prominent and powerful figures, even in Asia, everywhere, they went against him. He had little or support in his standing at the time.
In December 2016, after losing a surprise election to Adama Barrow, Jammeh refused to step down, leading to a political crisis.
There was high fear that we were even going to be in fire in the Gambia. And some explosions were reported to have happened, some were in the furnace. According to them, it was the arrival of some ECOWAS soldiers, everybody was in fear here, presidents were going and coming, Johnson Sirleaf came, Buhari of Nigeria, they were just going and coming, things were tense, things were tough, people were confused, there was fear, the commons was almost empty because everybody ran to the province or in the other part of in Senegal. So that fear and all what has happened ended up see him not going into an election as he demanded. So I want to say this. It is not out of his will he went to exile, because that was what was supposed to happen, because that was the best for the safety and security of the country. So long there was no re-election, the best thing is he should leave, because we were already divided and there was too much fear, and his resistance would have led to something very, very unfortunate. For safety and security, for peace and unity, Jammeh was to come. Even where the government or the country has no interest in taking him to court, even where there was no interest of the government or the people, or all the people affected taking him to court, the best thing was Jammeh to leave. He left. In Equatoria, he is in peace. He is there freely. In the Gambia, we are in peace. We are free.
Under pressure from regional leaders, he fled to Equatorial Guinea in January 2017, making the end of his 22 years rule. Yahya Jammeh's legacy is a tapestry of ambition, conflict and resilience. As Gambia moves forward, the lessons from his presidency continue to resonate.
If I speak to defend him here, I am offending other people, because maybe my relatives have not suffered. My wife, my husband, my brother, my sisters, they don't suffer from what has happened during his time. But also, if I don't speak about the good he has done, I have not been just to the cost. So, this is it. He did good, bad things happened along the way, so now the coin is standing. It is either side. It depends on the perspective of the Gambian people and others outside.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through Gambian recent history. We hope this documentary shed light on the complexities of leadership and legacy. Please don't forget to subscribe to Use Documentary and hit the notification bell so that when we post more amazing contents reflecting back on histories, you will not miss those amazing contents.